What are the pros and cons of doing environmental certification of a newly erected building? I've noticed in the projects that I've been involved in that there's like two main paths you can go down. So it's quite popular now to do environmental certification like Miljöbyggnad, Svanen certification. There are a bunch of those also international standards of how you can increase the performance of your building, and you get a nice little stamp that is an environmentally certified building. And that's good because that will create better buildings. However, there is a drawback with that. If you go for, let's say, the gold level on the Swedish Miljöbyggnad standard, what happens then is that you tend to choose safer solutions. If the requirements are very, very strict, you cannot take as much risks. So you have to go for safer solutions. And this can have a negative effect on the ability to do innovation. Whereas the other path would be, we do not do the certification, we go for the minimum requirements, but we aim higher and see how high we can get. Problem is that you might not be able to get your environmental certificate on this building, but for the end user, and I guess that's what really matters, the building might be just as good. But the good thing about doing the second option there, if you aim for minimum requirements, and then you can take some risks, you can do more innovation. You don't have to always choose the safest solution that you can find just to be sure. Because if you lose the environmental certification, that has an effect on not just acoustics, it's all disciplines are affected. So that's why it's very, very important to hit those targets. Whereas the more pragmatic, flexible solution is perhaps somewhat better suited for innovation. And I've seen both of these approaches. And just a couple of weeks ago, we had a building where we had the approach with aiming high and see how far we can get. And I know for a fact that in this project, I chose a couple of solutions that it should work, but I don't know. But we went for it. And we got like premium Sound Class B on everything. And that's win-win. That's great. We got a great building and we did innovative solutions and tried new things. And I'm not convinced that if we have had the strict requirements, I might have gone a different path and just increased the safety margins even more instead of doing innovation. I can't say that one way is better than the other because they are both good, of course, but we should at least be aware of that. Some projects might be better suited to go for the full certification route and get all those fancy stamps. And the other one can be really, really useful for other projects. So think about that. And in today's video, I'm wearing not a three-piece suit, but at least a three-piece combination. So I'm picking up the pants here with a collar. And I got... Now I get a brown Labrador on my back. Also good color combination with a green and brown. It's a good match. Burgundy knit tie, orange, blue, green, gray window pane. This is a nice harmony between all these colors. And the reason that I went for this full outfit is because it's very, very cold. And the vest is wonderful when the climate is cold. It'll keep you warm. I think that was the basic purpose for them in the beginning. And they look very dapper too. See ya.